Okay, so what we've got is a little scenario here where this is a very simple character, and I've got some weights. We got a little mesh, and I've weighted it, and I would like to smooth out this transition. Okay. Now, there's a way to smooth out the transition that I haven't showed you guys yet, so we'll just switch to our object and go to component mode, and I'll select the vertices that I want to be averaged out. Okay, so I could go to my skinning menu, edit smooth skin. I'll just tear this off for now. And there's this little tool called weight hammer. If I click that, what it does is it takes an average. This is important to understand. It takes an average of the weighting information from all vertices that surround your selection. And so you want to always do this with a relatively small selection. Because if I were to grab all of these, then it's going to, it overly smoothed it. Maybe sometimes that's nice, but you just want to be careful with how much you select. Okay, so I just want you to know mainly for this point in the video that this tool exists. Okay, and now I've got maybe as smooth as possible transition here. Okay, and I could continue to smooth it by working my way out. And clicking these one at a time, and I could, maybe get the shape I wanted to. This would probably make more sense on a real character, but you just have to trust me that it can be very, very helpful. Now, there's another tool that exists called your Paint Select. And I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with it, but you can drag over some vertices in component mode. You can drag over components of an object, and it will add to that selection. Okay. If you hold down Control, it will deselect. But what this extra credit assignment is about is combining the Paint Select with the weight hammer. And so what would be nice to be able to use this weight hammer really, really fast would be able to paint a selection and have the weight hammer automatically hammer it as soon as I'm done selecting. Okay, so as soon as I stop selecting, the weight hammer just hammers it, and then it deselects it. So that is the extra credit assignment. So I paint select, the selection gets weight hammered and deselected. And then I could do it again. I can just paint strokes with my, with my mouse or with my Wacom tablet, and I could paint and bash or paint and hammer a whole bunch of vertices really fast in very small sections. And that's the key to that. That's the warning to this tutorial. I got to emphasize that you guys, it only works in small selections. If you do a large selection, then you're going to mess up your weight painting. Oftentimes it's just a single vertice. So here's what to do. So let me go to my script editor. I'm going to create a new tab. Let me clear my history up here. And with this vertex selected, I'm going to click weight hammer. Okay, it didn't show me anything. So I need to go to History, Echo All Commands, and with that vertex still selected, I'm going to click Weight Hammer. It says Weight Hammer Verts. Okay, and I'm going to quickly turn off History because it's starting to spew out all kinds of stuff. So I need to copy that command down. So I'm going to select this, copy it, and paste it down here. Okay, I need that. Okay, now I'm going to clear my history again. And with my Paint Select tool, I'm going to make a selection. Okay, didn't show me anything again, so I'm going to turn on my Echo All Commands. I get all kinds of stuff. Let's see if one of these is helpful. Art, Atter, Skin, Context. Maybe that's helpful. Okay, Module Logic, Exists, Polynormals. Okay, we're just looking through here. And still really not anything terribly useful. Okay, so that makes this a little bit of a bugger. So what we need to do is go to our Mel command reference and see if there is a way to do a paint selection. So we'll go Mel command reference, and I'll click on selection. And again, there's still not there. So let's go to this. We'll just keep digging around. Okay, and if worse comes to worse, I'll just pull up my script and I'll tell you guys what the command is. But basically, I want you guys to dig around because interesting stuff is in here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pause it for time's sake, and then I'll load up my script after I find it. Okay, so this is the actual tool working. I found my script. Maybe I'm just being lazy, but I don't feel like trying to figure out what I did to get it to work. So basically, I went through the same steps that I showed you guys in the tutorial already, and I deciphered them and figured out which parts were essential and which parts I needed to change. So you'll notice that on this, I made it so that it automatically deselects everything that I already had selected if I don't hold any keys on my keyboard. But if I hold down Shift, then I can add to that selection still. Okay, and I can still hold down Control to remove from the selection. But the the actual script is here. Let me deselect it so you can see it. And I'll walk my way through it quickly. But basically, this list selection is the command. And it returns an array of strings. So it knows all the components that I have selected, essentially. And it stores it in this list called $cell. And then I highlight that selection, the zeroth, the first thing in that object. And then I change my selection mode to component. Okay, so what's all this doing? What all this is doing is it's just changing my model into component mode. So if I were to go press F8, on my keyboard, and I was in object mode when I ran this script.